Hello Aquarius, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your weekly tarot check for the week of April 5th through April 12th, 2020 for all Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in Aquarius. So welcome back to those of you that have been here before, and welcome to those that this is your first time stopping in. I want to thank everyone who subscribed, commented, liked, and shared my videos. I really appreciate the engagement on my channel, and it is fun to co-create with all of you, and it's great to stay connected in a time where we are currently sequestered. So if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and if you hit the bell, you'll be notified when new videos are posted, which is about once a week. So next week I'll be back with your mid-month check, and later in the month I'm going to do a seasonal check for the months of May, June, July, and August for all signs. So come back for that too. So here we go for April 5th through the 12th for Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for Aquarius. And we're going to go day by day, okay? So this is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. And then the bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Cups here. So, you know, powerful reading. You have four major arcana here. You have fire, you have Virgo, you have Leo, you have water, and you have air. So you begin the week, I feel like, in a very harmonious way. You have the Four of Wands here. Some readers call this the 1111 card. And the Four of Wands, again, it's all about harmony, union, happiness, and it's just a very joyful energy. So I feel like you get off to a very good start for the week here. This can also be about marriage too. So those of you that are in some kind of a union, you may be finding that you're taking a different look at things and trying to, you know, come together. It really is about two people coming together, and they're just so happy. They've got this castle behind them. You know, for those of you that are into Abraham Hicks, here's a way of manifesting a castle, right? It's as easy to manifest a button as a castle. So this is also too about your angels speaking to you and your manifestations happening. So it's all about things moving forward in the 3D world. So what, Aquarius, do you want to manifest? Sunday would be a great day to write down your intentions, know that you're on the right path, and this can relate to career too. It can be more of a stepping stone in a career path, so it may be that the current job that you're in is leading you to something better. That may very well be, and if you haven't been happy with how things have been handled during this quarantine, that may be a catalyst to moving on to something better. So here is the Hermit, and I mentioned this before with this pandemic that it's a global dark night of the soul. On Monday, you've got the Hermit, and he has a lantern to light the way, light the path for you. The Hermit is Virgo energy, so if you're dealing with a Virgo, certainly that could be you know, a key player in all of this. But for you on Monday, if you can just be still, go within, you will get direction. You will know and have clear direction on where to go next, what to do next. For some of you, I think you are wondering about a relationship here and are not completely sure what to do with it because you're in this sort of stagnant, standstill kind of energy. And some of you are getting into a bit of analysis paralysis with it, where you're thinking it over too much. And that is not, it just doesn't do anything for you when you get, you know, into your mind, and it's kind of like having this extra, you know, roommate in your head that doesn't go away, this thing that you keep going back to. So if you're doing that, this could be telling you too that it's time to take some action, because this is a 9, and so it's coming to the conclusion of a cycle. But the other thing too is if you're being very hard on yourself, it's also time to stop doing that. If you're going over and over in your mind of things that, if you had a relationship that ended and you're beating yourself up over it, it is time to stop doing that, because you will not bring in any new energy if that's you. But, once this whole thing is done, you're going to have great clarity. And that's what the Hermit does. It's like it's that beacon of light through the darkness. And so you're definitely on the right path here. On Tuesday, you have Strength. And again, this is about, knowing that you can do more maybe than you thought that you ever could. And you may be looking at things and taking your inventory a little bit. Again, be careful not to be too harsh with that, Aquarius, but you are able to pull off more than you ever thought you could. Now, again, when we talk about manifestation, you've got this symbol for infinity here, and that's infinite abundance. And that's what awaits. But the main thing is to raise your vibration. So get into a place where you feel good. I know like Gaia TV offers a free trial. If you're stuck at home and you have internet, get on there and get a free trial. There's like literally weeks of information, from spiritual teachings to yoga to cooking to all kinds of stuff. Go do something that helps you to feel better. And then if you've been waiting on a decision, you are going to get some communication with this by Wednesday. It's like Judgment Day coming through. So I do feel like if you've been wondering about a relationship, in the air is ripe for communication. You are going to be given some kind of an option here. I also think too, with regard to work, there's been just a lot of waiting around, not being sure. There was a lot of conflicting information, and some people have been furloughed, are not coming back. Others are furloughed and were told they'd go back April 13th, and that may not happen now. I think you are going to be waiting a bit longer. And I know it's difficult to hear, but I do think you're waiting longer than you thought you were going to have to wait. By the end of the week, you do get progress. There is a hint of progress, but the kind of the middle of the week, things get a little dicey, because then you have the Page of Swords. And this can be reckless. So you want to be careful on Thursday just to have restraint of pen and tongue. We don't want to go ripping off emails at people or doing something that we can't take back. Step away from things if you have to. If there's a spectacle in front of you, just don't participate in it. Now, I do think as far as a love interest is concerned, you might be doing some internet spying on them. You're getting more time on your hands and, doing some things to check in on this person and see what they're up to. And that's okay. I mean, I know it seems like, where does that really take us when we're doing that? But, sometimes if you can raise your vibration enough and not look at the lack of it, but look at the possibility of it. Like, for instance, you're spying on an ex and you can tell that they're single, there's potential there, because if there was love once, the love's still there. It really is. And I do feel like for somebody out there, they have someone who has been away from them. There hasn't been any communication for quite a while now. I want to say close to a year, maybe even more, a little more than a year. And I feel like that one is going to come back around. They're quarantined, they're alone, they're not dating anybody, either are you. And I do feel like there's going to be a comeback around with this in probably the next couple weeks. But again, you have a lot of time on your hands here just to be contemplative and to heal yourself. And don't look at that as a negative thing. Look at that as an opportunity. You have an opportunity to heal, because in nature, things heal. They will heal. And we see all kinds of things, like you see, a tree that gets some kind of, it's garroted or something, and the thing comes back to life. We're meant to heal. So with the Hanged Man, this is all about changing your perspective on something and looking at things as opportunities rather than disappointment. So for you, the best thing that you can look at right now is, if you are single, I'm kind of glad I'm not in this with somebody else right now where it wouldn't have been solid enough. You're looking for a long-term foundation with somebody, something that's going to last, and not be something where it's a lot of in and out kind of thing. And I actually think you will be moving towards that. It won't be this week, but it is going to be coming. Now, on Saturday, you have this Five of Swords. And again, this is where I talk about stepping away from a spectacle. You don't have to participate in every fight you're invited to. And I think you're going to do a really good job of that. I think there's some people around you that are looking for a fight. And, you know, and there's a change coming. I think this whole thing is changing a lot of people. But, you know, again, this person's looking back like they see their opponents have dropped. He sees his opponents have dropped their swords, and he's still wanting to engage with them. So if you have somebody like that that's around you, know that it's time to move away from them. And I think you're going to move away and you're not going to look back with this Three of Wands. This is, again, this is a hint of progress. So it's slow moving energy, but there's still progress here with the buds that are blooming on these wands. So I do feel like for some of you with work, you're going to start to see light at the end of the tunnel, new opportunities coming in, a better understanding of when you'll be going back to work full time. And you are going to have some options. You're definitely going to have options coming through for you. And, you know, it's going to be up to you, Aquarius, what you want to do. So the good news is, you know, if you can just stand in your own power, take a look at the landscape and determine what you want, it'll come in for sure. So here's an Ask and It Is Given card from Abraham Hicks. I will reach for the best feeling thought I have access to. Always be reaching for the feeling of relief that comes when you release the more resistant thought and replace it with a more allowing, better feeling thought. The stream of well-being is always flowing through you, and the more you allow it, the better you feel. The more you resist it, the worse you feel. So isn't that true? When we feel uncomfortable, it's because we see something in an opposite way that the source within us sees it. So if you can release the resistance and just go with the flow, allow the universe to work with you, you will be able to bring in all kinds of things into your reality, because thoughts do become things. So I love you so much, Aquarius. I'll be back next week for your mid-month tarot check.